Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers for a World in Crisis. Today's subject is money, Part 2. From the Mother. You see, when one thinks of money, one thinks of banknotes or coins or some kind of wealth, some precious things. But this is only the physical expression of a force which may be handled by the vital and which, when possessed and controlled, almost automatically brings along these more material expressions of money. And that is a kind of power. It is a power of attracting certain very material vibrations, which has a capacity for utilization that increases its strength, which is like the action of physical exercises, you see. It increases its strength through utilization. For example, if you have a control over this force, it is a force which, in the vital world, has a color varying between red, a dark, extremely strong red, and a deep gold that's neither bright nor very pale. Well, this force, when it is made to move, to circulate, its strength increases. It is not something one can accumulate and keep without using. It is a force which must always be circulated. For example, people who are misers and accumulate all the money, all the wealth they can attract towards themselves, put this force aside without using its power of movement. And either it escapes or it lies benumbed and loses its strength. The true method of being in the stream of this money power is precisely what is written here. A sea of absolute impersonality. The feeling that it is not something you possess, or which belongs to you, but that it is a force you can handle and direct where it ought to go in order to do the most useful work. And by these movements, by this constant action, the power increases. The power of attraction, a certain power of organization also. That is to say, even somebody who has no physical means, who is not in those material circumstances where he could materially handle money, if he is in possession of this force, he can make it act, make it circulate, and if ever he finds it necessary, receives from it as much power as he needs, without there being externally any sign or any reason why the money should come to him. He may be in conditions which are absolutely the very opposite of those of usual wealth, and yet can handle this force and always have at his disposal all the wealth that's necessary to carry on his work. Therefore, it was like this. You see, this letter was written to someone who wanted to go out from here to collect money for Sri Aurobindo's work. And this person had no means at all. So he began by saying to Sri Aurobindo, "But as I myself have no means, people will have no trust in me, and I won't be able to get anything. And Sri Aurobindo answered him something like this, that it is not the external force in its most material form which is necessary. It is the handling of the inner force which gives one control over money wherever it is. Whether it is in public institutions or with individuals, one obtains control over it, and one can, when it is necessary, attract by a certain movement what is needed. First of all, from the financial point of view, the principle on which our action is based is the following. Money is not meant to make money. This idea that money must make money is a falsehood and a perversion. Money is meant to increase the wealth, the prosperity, and the productiveness of a group, a country, or better, of the whole earth. Money is a means, a force, a power, and not an end in itself. And like all forces and all powers, it is by movement and circulation that it grows and increases its power, not by accumulation and stagnation. Money is not meant to make money. Money is meant to make the earth ready for the advent of the new creation. The power of money is at present under the influence or in the hands of the forces and beings of the vital world. It is because of this influence that you never see money going in any considerable amount to the cause of truth. Always it goes astray, because it is in the clutch of the hostile forces, and is one of the principal means by which they keep their grip upon the earth. The hold of the hostile forces upon the money power is powerfully, completely, and thoroughly organized, and to extract anything out of this compact organization is a most difficult task. Each time you try to draw a little of this money away from its present custodians, you have to undertake a fierce battle. And yet, one signal victory somewhere over the adverse forces that have the hold upon money would make victory possible simultaneously and automatically at all other points also. If in one place they yielded, all who now feel that they cannot give money to the cause of truth would suddenly experience a great and intense desire to give. It is not that those rich men who are more or less toys and instruments in the hands of the vital forces are averse to spend. Their avarice is awake only when the vital desires and impulses are not touched. For when it is to gratify some desire that they call their own, they spend readily. But when they are called to share their ease and the benefits of their wealth with others, then they find it hard to part with their money. The vital power controlling money is like a guardian who keeps his wealth in a big safe always tightly closed. Money is something one ought not to have until one no longer has desires. When one no longer has any desires, any attachments, when one has a consciousness vast as the earth, then one may have as much money as there is on the earth. It would be very good for everyone. But if one is not like that, all the money one has is like a curse upon him. This I could tell anyone at all to his face, even to the man who thinks that it is a merit to have become rich. It is a calamity, and perhaps it is a disgrace. That is, it is an expression of a divine displeasure. It is infinitely more difficult to be good, to be wise, to be intelligent and generous, to be more generous, you follow me, when one is rich than when one is poor. I have known many people in many countries, and the most generous people I have ever met in all the countries were the poorest. And as soon as the pockets are full, one is caught by a kind of illness, which is a sordid attachment to money. I assure you, it is a curse. So the first thing to do when one has money is to give it. But as it is said that it should not be given without discernment, don't go and give it like those who practice philanthropy, because that fills them with a sense of their own goodness, their generosity, and their own importance. You must act in a sattvic way. That is, make the best possible use of it. And so, each one must find in his highest consciousness what the best possible use of the money he has can be. And truly, money has no value unless it circulates. For each and every one, money is valuable only when one has spent it. If one doesn't spend it, I tell you, men take care to choose things which do not deteriorate, that is, gold, which does not decompose. Otherwise, from the moral point of view, it rots. And now that gold has been replaced by paper, if you keep paper for a long time without taking care of it, you will see that when you open your drawer, that there are small silverfish which have regaled themselves on your paper rupees. So they will have left a lacework which the bank will refuse. Namaste.